So for this exercise, I want to look at doing a model based on a number of images, and I've chosen to do this in the ordered environment. So I'll start by placing the sketches as I need to. I'll start with the end sketch, and under the tools menu you'll see the insert image, and then if I browse, I'll just take in that one. So the image comes in, you can sort of redefine it. I'll leave this one as is, and that's all I'm going to place for this image. Actually, I might just double check that it is roughly central. I can just so I can see that this one's a little bit off. So if I Control A to select all and do a move, I can just pick up off here and just get that central. And for the moment I'm just going to get rid of the sketches, line elements, etc. And if I want to, I can label this. So for the next one, I'll place it on the front view. And again, we'll go to the tools menu. If I want, rather than having to keep switching back, I can sort of add this to the quick access toolbar on here, and then I can just select it without having to change tabs each time. So let's take the front view, and I'll leave that one as is. And then finally I'll take a top view, so again I'm not quite sure how they're all going to line up at the moment, but as I start drawing my sketches and stuff, that will become more apparent. So let's finish that, and now I'll add in the actual lines over the top of the images. I could have drawn it on top of the images, but it means that because they're on a separate sketch plane, I can sort of hide them once I've got the geometry that I need. So let's start with this plane here. So I'm only going to work on sort of like the top edge, and we'll come in somewhere around here. Start drawing. If I hit the S key, that takes me symmetric, and I'm pretty sure that this value here is roughly around 65, and then it comes down here to the front edge, and then I can just place that sort of image sort of as the tap tapers down to the front edge from the back. If I want to, I can sort of put dimensions on there, make it easier to work on at a later date, customize it as you need to. So for this one, I'll do an arc by 3 points, and we'll come from here down to about here, and just sketch that in. Now what I really want to do is sort of align that to the other sketch. So if I click on there, I can sort of click on the midpoint, that brings that down, and likewise for the front end. come back to my front view. As you can see, it's sort of warped out a little bit. And I want to put a distance between here and here. And I'll bring that back to about 150. And just want to bring that down a fraction and close that sketch. So that distance here to that point there is 150. Let's just double check the plan view. I can come in and using the line, I can just place a dimension to about so say 141.5. So that should be about 150. So if I click on the image edge here, I can go into the width and multiply this by 150 divided by 141.5, which should expand that image out to the sort of specified point. Again, it's moved. So let's put so I've just done a select tool, and we'll use that to just reposition this down. And again, I'll get rid of that now that I've got it positioned. So we'll go and create that last sketch, and again we want to come off that top plane, and we're going to have a 3-point arc. Somewhere like that. And the distance on here, we made it 65. I could connect that into the other one, or I can place a dimension from the endpoint to here. So 65 divided by 2, and at the other end that was 35 divided by 2, and the distance we want to keep at 150. Now, because I'll do both sides, if we just go mirror that item over that line, and then we'll just connect up the two endpoints. So now if we hide our images, we will need to do this as a surface to start off with. Create the all the sides up as surfaces and then join them together later. But I want to do a cross curve of that item to that one. So that gives me my curve in both directions. I also want to, let's just take that sketch out to the endpoint. So we'll go parallel plane. To that endpoint. Let's just hide those sketches again. So now we've got our profile. We can use a bounded surface, single option, go around and pick all the edges, and then we have our surface that we can start building the rest of the tap model from. So there's just an example of how sketches, or sorry, images can be used to build a rough approximation of a scanned image or a photo.